Bro.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. I'm here with Erik Hansen of Fobos Knives. He's going to talk to us about some of the new stuff he's going to have coming out here real soon and some of the other blades he has available. Erik, what do you got for us today?
Good morning, brother, and welcome to the Fobos table in Blade West in beautiful Salt Lake City. What you see here is our Tier 1 Mini and our Mini Mini. So we're in Generation 3 of our Tier 1 Minis, which are these blades right here. This is a Mini Mini, and let me grab another. There is a Tier 1 Mini, and this one here is a Mini with the EDC scales. So what the Mini's dropping in like 3 or 4 weeks. That'll be available at all of our dealers. So this is the EDC scales, and here's the full thickness scales, and the design feature behind the minis and the 3.5-inch mini minis is if I wanted to take a full thickness scale, which is 310 thick, and it's heavier, but if I wanted a lightweight EDC scale, I could take my mini minis EDC scales and put them on my Tier 1 Mini. So that way, this with the carbon fiber scales, this knife, this is the Mini, the shrunken pommel, the 3.5-inch blade. It's the same exact handle profile as the Mini, and with the cutout scales on the Mini Mini, it's a just over 4-ounce blade at 1875 thick. So once you're carrying it, it's like you just completely forget that it's there. It's lighter than the sheath unless you're carrying Kydex.
Yeah.
So but some guys love the full thickness scale of the Mini itself, and you can put these full thickness scales on your Mini Mini. You can see the difference in the scales are, or the handle profile in the knife. Sorry for my shaking. It's my Parkinson's.
That's okay. Yeah, I can see the difference.
Yeah.
For sure.
So here I'll grab. Let me grab one of the minis, or the Mini Minis with the full thickness scales on it. Let me find it. Here we go. So here is a Mini Mini, the shrunken pommel 3.5-inch blade, compared to the Mini with the 4-inch blade and the full-size pommel. But here's what they look like. So you got an incredibly small EDC blade with a 4-finger grip and full thickness, here, bro, put that puppy in your hand, and you got lunch boxes.
Yeah, I got.
And
everybody knows I got XL meat paws.
And it's.
Yeah, holding it here. I got. These feel really nice. I was actually handling these yesterday.
Yeah.
And even with the skeletonized handles, it feels fantastic.
Yeah.
You can go either way with this, and
right.
It's fine.
And this knife, the Tier 1 Mini, has been that's our best seller. We've done I think it was a couple runs with Bark River when we first got started, and the collabs, and now we're out on our own. And this knife has been so flipping popular.
Can you get it?
Yeah, tear it up, brother.
You got nice skeletonized here. Again, big meat paws. I got full grip, first grip in it. No problem. It feels great, man. It is. It's deceptive because it looks like a heavy knife, but it's not. It's just super light.
And then one of our a cat named Jesse, just out of respect for the guy, he was like, "Hey, Erik, can you?" And that's one thing that we've tried. I've always tried to be very proactive, or not reactive, but proactive with the customer. Is you drive the train. I can make what I like, but you're driving the train as far as like design or needs or capabilities that you're going to carry as far as EDC goes. And Jesse said, "Hey, bro, can you make this because what I carry, I'll get arrested carrying a 4-inch fixie." I was like, "Sure." And he literally drew up his rendition, and he hated the pommel, but the pommel is a Fobos thing, and so I drew it up and I sent it to him, and it's been about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and here we are, put them on the schedule, and we're making the mini.
Yeah, that's going to be a hot seller.
I think so too.
The EDC market's so
correct
hot right now.
Correct. Now, some guys are saying, "Hey, what is the cutout for?" Because our original the Gen 1s and Gen 2s didn't have the cutout, but there's folders. There's folders coming. Like the Calcula was designed. We'll switch over to that, but the Calcula was designed as a folder first. So it's just holding the folder next to the fixie and then looking. It's to me, I thought that would be a cool thing.
It looks cool to me. It gives it a different look,
right? So, and I love. I mean, it's deadly. It's wicked small. It's Malvado, So, I think this will do really, really well. And the dealers, and especially Blue Ridge, the distributor, they're excited about this model because the Tier 1 Mini is always sold out, like really quick. What do you want to go to next?
Let's go to the Tier 1 BC.
The BC. All right. The BC, like I have a full size combat handle, a boot size combat handle, and that's where the BC actually comes from. Doug Wilson from Yellow Hawk Custom Kydex, he coined it in one of his videos, the bushcraft, and he said it on the internet, and that makes it true, and it's stuck as the Tier 1 bushcraft ever since. But it's 2.0 thick, magnet cut, 62 hard. It's Phil EDC on Instagram is chopping aluminum block with this, and we're not deformating the edge. And it's just the magnet cut is held up really, really well. I can't be more pleased. Some guys say that there's some here. I'll pick up one of the other models. I'll let you handle that.
We've got the bow drill divot here.
And I'll talk about that. So really, I've done a lot of experimentation on the fire starter notch, and so you can use an octagonal notch, and you can use the 1/2 inch, the fire steel rod, or you can use the 1/4 inch. And this puppy, like Jim Lowe, he's got his MKB7 with the same notch. There's some other videos using this, and it just absolutely throws because of the curvature and the size wise. It just throws fire. And the bow drill divot there's an actual divot in the steel. I don't know if you can see it in the light.
Yeah.
So if you've worked with wood and steel long enough, you can know that there's a lot of lubricity that when I press, from my bearing block down to my hearth, or this creates, you literally lose 50% of your friction. And there's a dude in the Netherlands, a German cat, he's got I think it's an Alaris. I think he says it's a BC in the video, but it's an Alaris. He's got an Ember in 34 seconds, and he's never done he reached out to me and said, "I've never done a bow drill fire before. This is my first time. I was in good conditions, but you talk to anybody who's done it, you got friction up here, friction on the bottom, and it just tires you out. So this is really what it helps with is there's no friction up top, and 100% of your pressure and your friction is down, because even on your hearth, you only have so many. There's a finite amount of time before you dehydrate and you burn up, because as you're breaking in your bow drill, as you're breaking it in, you're also breaking in your hearth notches and your so this eliminates half your work, and it works really, really well. So what other questions you got, bro?
Oh,
This I love this knife.
yeah, it feels fantastic in the hand. I mean, it's a large knife for sure, but it's not heavy.
Yeah,
Like,
5 point. Yeah, it's not heavy at all. Magnet cut is.
And I like how you can choke back here if you need it to do some like whip chops if you need it,
Right.
and choke up on it. You can get up here in the finger.
No. This is my boot size handle, so it's if you carry it correctly across your callus line instead of on your callus line. Now you can monkey grip and get it deep in the hand, and then our handles won't. But the way I was trained is across your callus line in your hand. Just if it was kendo or kumdo, Korean or Japanese sword art, you carry it like that, and because you're not going to fight like this.
Yeah,
You're gonna fight like this, and in reverse grip. So all my handles are designed for you not to subluxate or dislocate your knuckles. So if you literally were in a knockdown drag out, you could defend yourself and not have to lose your knife. So that's the premise behind what the handles shape is for. But if you want to chop, you can still go down to a 3-finger grip and not lose this knife.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, if this were, yeah, I can't see. Thanks, bro. If a big fat handle, there's just certain things you can't do with it. So then we have the boot size handle. That's that. The Alaris is over here. This is my Omni positional.
These things are fantastic.
Yeah, I love this. And then let's see, where's the Malvado? We'll talk about this. What the Alaris handle was turned into. We'll talk about this because it's a collab that's coming up with one of the big gun stores in Texas. But this is my rendition of a modern camp knife. We put the bow drill divot in it to just showcase it, and I think it worked. I think it works really, really well. And this is probably my favorite grip.
Yeah, this thing feels fantastic in the hand. Like you just grab it, and it just feels natural. I mean, I could totally see using this at the camp, at home, barbecuing. Like,
and like the last huntsman on Gabriel, I think, it's Gabriel, on Instagram, he's chopping cow femur and not deformating the edge. So this is my 4th heat treat recipe, and we used on this knife, and I think we got it down. There's a cat named Cedric in Germany. He's doing a jute rope test. He's got almost 1,000 cuts before he has any like microchips, and so 1,000 cuts into jute rope. You can't. I'm super happy with where our 3B is right now. But my wife loves this knife. Like the one that I have, she took, and it's in our kitchen. And
now.
And you can, and what I try to leave, because we started out like in the Facebook community, which there's a lot of custom, or not custom, but a lot of collectors and a lot of guys that they reprofile their own edges, or they'll take your knife and they'll reprofile it. So I try to put at least maintain some thickness behind the edge. One, for toughness, but there's so many guys that say they want to go down to 17 degrees or 18 degrees instead of the 20 degrees. Like, you know, as a manufacturer, that's safe for me to put a 20-degree edge on a knife. And then if you like this knife at 18 degrees, oh my God, dude,
Yeah,
it's freaking terrifyingly sharp. And but at 20 degrees, this is it's a for 3V at 20 degrees, you can chop some, you can cut through just about anything.
you know, one of the things I notice about your knives before we go on to the Calcula is your handle scale colors with your liners.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's cosmetic, but
Right.
they look fantastic.
Thanks,
man.
bro.
I mean, they pop. I mean, this green with this color is just.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then that was kind of, you know, and we don't like some, and I'm not bashing anybody. Like some guys add a liner because a G10 liner, it adds rigidity and strength. Like if you're batoning and you hit your liner or hit your scale, you can break your scale, or you can. I mean, so there is an actual engineering. It's not just for looks; it's to make the scale tougher, because we know I don't make safe cleans. I don't mind. You know, like Mike Stewart says, they put them in the drawer and they protect socks. These are my knives are meant to be used.
yeah.
They're meant to be used and abused. So that's I try to do all of our handles will have liners for cosmetic reasons, but for strength. So you want to move on to the Calcula?
There's strength, but they strength and beauty.
Yeah,
right?
they look really, really good.
Into this Calcula.
Yeah. So this Calcula is in EDC. This knife is designed to save your life. I mean, first and foremost, any knife should be, no matter what it's used for, whether it's a puko or a chopper or a knife should cut. This blade is, if this were the winter time and you're up against somebody in a thick ass Carhartt, coat, this is going to cut through all of that and straight to the bone. And it was designed. There is a folder. If you go to our website, the gallery, you'll see the folder that's coming right behind this. And
I saw that diagram.
Yeah.
It's
tough to make a folder, dude. It's hard.
Yeah.
So it takes. Not everybody's doing them, and there's a reason why. But this blade, you can choke up on it if you want to. You can use the pommel. You're going to be able to stab. Cut.
It's again, for the size of this knife.
Yes.
It's
super light.
It's just so light
Right.
in hand. It's like the jimping on the back here it's nice.
Yep.
But it's not overly aggressive.
No, we melt everything down, and I've experimented with a certain size of jimping to put on the thumb ramp, right? And you can go a little bit bigger, and it gets really it's too deep, and you can get too smaller, and then it doesn't bite it enough. Like Joe and Scab, there's a video of him. This dude's a monster. He's a beefy dude, and he's punching through, and he's not. There's no slip in the grip, and it's just the same. On the small jimping, I've found a certain size that really works to support your hand. So in the way this is supposed to be, like if you're on top, you can waver the knife either way. Right. But we fade our scales away from the spine, and that allows you to put the thumb just off to the side and squeeze the grip into, and it doesn't go anywhere. And I've had.
I didn't notice that until you.
Right. A lot of guys, and so you know, and I've had some guys say, "Oh, that's bullshit," you know, but we really do design in these little tiny features. And you see where I'm putting my thumb.
Yeah.
So instead of on top, it's right off to the side, and the fade away, and you can see the fade all the way here. And this allows you, because if I put it directly on top, it goes straight to the bone, and now I'm allowing the bone to go in between the scale, and I can. I mean, you can see, I'm white knuckling this grip. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, because if I put a quillian or a guard on the knife, it kind of restricts some of the things I can do up close as far as bushcraft or woodlore tasks. So this is kind of a meld of both worlds, having a good quillian with some gription, if you will, and not allow me to slip.
Yeah.
And you can wear gloves or not. I don't wear gloves unless it's cold out.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, that's pretty much. I think we're one of the few companies that actually does jimping correctly. You know what I mean? Because I mean, there's guys out there that hate jimping, and the reason they hate it is because it's going to shred you to, you know, it's just going to shred your hand. Because doing woodlore tasks or building a survival shelter, you're going to be prepping a fire, you're going to be prepping shelter, you're going to be prepping wood, you're going to be you literally could be out there 6, 7, 8 hours prepping your camp so you don't die. You know, in the environment, because you're at the will of you know, Madatera. You know, she's not going to care that you forgot your coat or that you lost it in the river or whatever. So having a knife that you can work with for 6, 7, 8 hours and not destroy your hands it's important.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much else. I mean, what you got, it's what we have on the table now. The BC, the Alaris, the Calcula. These are what's coming. The Mini, the EDC. And as far as EDC knives go, I think we make some of the best actual EDC knives that are.
We have very, very nice knives from you explaining them. Thank you for sitting down and explaining the features of the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're going to do it way better than I can, but explaining it, I mean, looking at the knife, you're like, okay, oh shit, that makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. I get it now.
Right. And like even the pommel, because I've had some guys like, Eric, it sticks out, it's going to hit me from my body, and it's not, because like say you're at a gas station, and this has happened to me, and you're at the gas station at night at 12:30, and several dudes come around the corner and they're approaching you on CCTV, you know, a closed circuit camera. You draw a knife, the DA, they're going to arrest you. You draw a knife, that's lethal force. But if you hit somebody with the pommel, a non-lethal engagement, you can explain yourself. And if it's what 30 to 45 seconds of guys getting cut before they realize they've been cut, or 7 cuts before they realize they've been cut. Because if you're in a knife fight with somebody, they're going to have a sharp knife, and you're not going to realize. This is immediate. You smack somebody in the forehead and the nose, and using a pommel, they're going to know immediately that there's some damage. So, I mean, I put it on every knife because you never know. You know, I've literally been on patrol in Africa under MBGs and had hyenas and lions fall right in behind us, and just waiting on somebody to fucking fall out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you at any moment, I mean, we've been in the bush, and 35 feet away from us there were lions bedding down. I've got photos of lions literally from 5 or 6 tables away from us, and we didn't know they were there.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So at any moment you could be with a human being or some kind of animal, that's because you're in the food chain, bro. That's not a joke.
Yeah. So
I try to design everything that you're in that knockdown drag, you're not going to drop it. I don't want to get off on a tangent. Sorry, bro.
That's all right. Eric, man, thank you so much for taking the time to explain the knives to us and the features that they have to offer. everything's made here in the U.S.
Yes, everything's made in the U.S.
Sourced in the U.S.
The leather is made in the U.S. You're going to have damn near $100, almost $100 sheet, depending on the size that to come with your knife. We do Kydex. I think we do Kydex really well too. I mean, if you have any questions, you can YouTube our knives, and guys like you, influencers, are out there telling the true, the story of what we do and how we do it.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, so it's all good, bro.
Cool. All right, Erik. Thank you so much,
brother. I appreciate you coming
because I know
out.
you got some knives to sell, and
yeah, man,
I greatly appreciate it. And we'll get this video up and start spreading the word, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
All right, thank you again.
Yeah, give me some knuckle, brother.
All right, man.
All right, man.
All right, guys. Stay safe, stay sharp. You know what, Erik? I almost forgot. What is this 3D printed blade you got here? What do we got going on here?
Yeah, this is a collab. Well, this is one of the first designs. We're not completely done. We're going to shorten it up a little bit, but this is a collab with Heart of Texas Armory. They're a larger gun store. They've got an e-commerce shop. This is one they reached out to us and said, "Hey, we love what you do as far as on the EDC side, and we want you to make us a knife." And this is the Malvado, which is the wicked or the evil, and that's what we're doing for them. I don't have one in actual steel yet because we're still in the 3D print process, and that's what we do is we'll design, we'll show them the pictures, we'll print it in 3D, and we just sent this to them, a couple versions of it, and they just came back with some changes by putting their hands on it. So it's cut out, you can't see it, but to make it light, this is a Warncliffe, obviously. I put a harpoon on it just for aesthetics and to create the swedge and to Persian out the swedge to give some flex into the tip. And then I put a thumb ramp on it because, and like most guys who actually do knives or draw, a dagger and a Warncliffe they're hard to scale up to larger handles because they just don't look right. You know what I mean? So that's why you'll see a Warncliffe in a smaller handle, and you're going to see some similarities. So what the Alaris, and this is essentially a shrunken down Alaris handle. We've had so many compliments and so much positive feedback on the Omni positional handle that I just decided to use it. And the Neil, the owner over at OTA, Heart of Texas Armory, they love this. He loved the handle, loved the ergonomics, and wanted to.
And I almost wish they don't shrink the blade
I don't think they should. We've had this discussion with them, and they want to get it down to about, because right now it's 3 3.25 inches.
Yeah.
And it's super light.
Dude, that would be such a. I mean, I would
Correct.
put that with the Calcula as a wicked
self-defense. Yes, absolutely. And they want to shrink the pommel, like on the minis.
Oh, okay.
They want to shrink the pommel, which is fine. And we're going to keep the thumb ramp. And if you can see on the thumb ramp, the jimping is going to be knurled, so it's super non-invasive. But what he wanted this for is not just a fighting knife, but a knife that you're going to use every day. He says, I'm opening boxes all day long. I work. I want a knife that's going to be wicked sharp. It's still going to be 1875 thick, and with the Warncliffe style, it's going to be super sexy.
Yeah.
And we're actually looking at where's it at? Let me find it. I just purchased some. Here it is.
That is. Man, this would. Put those two up next to each other. That'd just be
like some of these are going to be done in. This is German. We'll put once we get further along in. But this is German tank barrel from the Leopard tank. Some of these are going to be made out of that.
Oh wow!
So cool. we'll use. There's going to be some done with Jesse Hempel's Damascus. There's another gentleman, we haven't spoken to him yet, that we want to use. So there's, and then some German tank barrel Damascus that was made by, and I'll go get their permission to use their name, and then I'll send it to you, and then we can edit it in. You can put it in the description. But we're gonna do wood, we're gonna do carbon fiber, obviously G10, you know, to kind of where we'll have different price points.
Yeah.
You know, some guys, they want S35VN is what the production steel is going to be done in, but some of it is, so there'll be a different kind of level for this knife. Because I think this knife is going to sell really, really well.
And when these get made, are they going to be available exclusively through that gun
Yes,
dealer?
yeah, through Heart of Texas Armory. They'll that's exclusively their design. Neil, and they're good. They're good folks. I like having them as a dealer. Check them out. You know, Hota. They're good folks.
Cool. Awesome, man. That's going to be slick, man. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Eric. We greatly appreciate it again. All right, guys. I think we're done.
Great.
All right. Stay safe. Stay sharp.